Holocult. We all know that the internet is not a safe place, especially when you're in our line of work. We're constantly looking up nefarious conspiracies, putting out FOIA requests, looking into dropped FBI files. That's why we here in the Holo Layer trust our ISP to ExpressVPN. I know most of you are probably thinking, why don't you just use incognito mode? Well, let me tell you something. Incognito mode does not hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history. Your internet service provider can still see every single website you've ever visited. That's why even when we're at home, we never go online without using ExpressVPN.
That's right. We don't need any more of our information floating around out there. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't be seen with any of the sites you visit. ExpressVPN also keeps all your information secure by encrypting it 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption out there. ExpressVPN is also available on all of your devices, phones, computers, tablets, even your smart TVs. So there's no excuse as to why you should not be using something like this when it comes to protecting yourself and protecting your data.
Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET and Mashable. Visit our exclusive link, expressvpn.com/hollow1, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/HOLO1. expressvpn.com/hollow1 to learn more. What's up, Holocult? It's Wednesday. You know what that means.
We're back
We are
again.
back. We are back. It's good to be here and hanging out with all of you again. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Most of the time it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. But it's been a couple weeks. Hope everybody's doing good. Everything's going well. Halfway through the work week. Oh. How many people we got in here? 23. We're climbing. Those 23 of you in here, if you could hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, that would be great. Not that that's working anyway. We keep getting a lot of people chiming in that their subscriptions and stuff to the YouTube channel just completely go away, which is neat, but not surprising.
Yeah, there's a lot of oddities that seem to take place technical wise that here nor there.
We are hollow band.
Nah, it is what it is.
Yeah. What kind of weirdness we got going on, Holocult? Ooh, we got one heart. Nice. Let's think. So a couple weeks ago, right? I'll jump right into this. A couple weeks ago, right after the night shift, so 2 weeks ago tonight, I was messing around the Discord, and I was on JJ's Discord, And she posted a picture of this video of this weird light she saw in the sky. It was pretty strange. It was a clear night. You can obviously see in the moons in the background. There's airplanes in the background, but whatever this thing is kind of had its own like weird haze around it. So I'm like, okay, that's strange. So I go on TikTok, just post a picture of it in the background. I go live, and all of a sudden, tons of people are coming in. And they're seeing this thing, whatever it is, all over the place. Northern California, Southern California, Las Vegas, Utah, New Mexico, all over. And we just kind of hung out and tried to solve whatever this weird UFO flap was a couple weeks ago. There was a SpaceX Starlink launch that happened a little earlier in the evening from Florida, which we tried to narrow down the flight path and stuff of that launch, and we could never get things to kind of fall into place as to what people were seeing that could have been SpaceX. So it was weird. There's people all over the place chiming in.
So it's obviously an alien.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I figured it was one of two things. So, A, people are seeing the SpaceX launch, or B, they're timing the SpaceX launches to coincide with whatever's being seen by people, so it's easy to write it off.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not possible. But that would mean, and I'm not saying that this is also not possible, but that would mean that clearly SpaceX is working with the government in the hopes of covering up and maintaining this entire disinformation campaign that we've experienced for a very long time now.
Yes, which Elon is a glutton for money. So that would be an easy sell. And he's trying to colonize Mars. So what better way to get in good with our intergalactic neighbors than be like, hey, we'll help cover this up if you guys want to come in and check around. And then they're like, okay, well, you can have like 3 acres on Mars, Elon.
And it is appropriate because we are about to go into some alien goodness as far as the episodes go. And it's weird timing too that you bring all that up, because I had a thought the other day. I was going to make a reel about it, try to get into that game, which is just kind of annoying.
Not sponsored.
Especially for someone who doesn't like social media at all. But I had this thought about the subject of the Vatican putting out new terms of service, essentially, for dealing with supernatural entities, yada, yada, yada. And my thought process is, what if, because the past several years have been just chocked full of UFO talk, USOs, all that shit, what if that's why they're updating their terms of service, essentially? Because there's so much, and it just, like we've talked about before, it feels like something's coming to a head where there's an unavoidable event that is going to take place, and they're trying to get ahead of it. They also, if I remember correctly, they also state that to make sure you don't place the title of essentially religious icon to these beings, which would make you wonder, do these things have a history? Because we've heard that they have, but do they have the history of manipulating our religious beliefs in order to further infiltrate or mislead, whatever the case may be? And is that why the Vatican is now coming forward and being like, all right, we're going to have to get a handle on this, because if these things start coming down and saying, hey, we're the real God, that's going to create all types of chaos on our lowly little planet here.
Yeah, I feel like on the other side of that coin, the Vatican's got the most to lose. If whatever these entities are come down and say, hey, everything that you guys have been worshiping is us, the Vatican's going to be like, oh shit. Here goes all of our followers. Here goes all of our cash cow that we've been banking on the last millennia.
I don't know that would be the case. I feel like you're going to have two pretty fucking solid camps at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like essentially there would be people that would turn.
Oh, yeah, without question. I wouldn't. I mean, I still believe in a creator. I may not believe in your creator per se, but I do believe in a creator. And I'm not going to believe that just because you come here in a flying ship that I can't fucking understand, that I'm going to be like, oh, you're my creator. I'm going to go doubt fucking that. Because what have we learned? We've learned that everything is a lie anymore. Like, everything is a lie.
I agree with that. It would. So I mean, I don't know. It would be an eye-opening experience if they came down and was like, hey, everything you know is a lie. Then we'd be like, well, are you telling the truth, or have our religious hierarchy been lying to us for the last 2,000 years?
I think it's all of the above. I think there's a vested interest always to lie to the masses in whatever thing it is. I mean, fuck, we lied about sugar. We lied about cigarettes. Remember when cigarettes used to be good for you?
It's all about this, bro.
Exactly. So there's a vested interest in lying about anything that can make you money. It's just what people do.
I agree.
But it's interesting to hear large public figures come forward with their own explanations as to what's going on, and to severely question, like outright question, the current narratives.
Yeah, it's in, like you said, it's in their best interest to get ahead of the game, to lead the narrative.
Definitely, especially if it's an unavoidable event, you're gonna have to do damage control. Just straight the fuck up damage control. You have to.
Yep.
And there's still the parent syndrome that all upper management of the world faces as well. They think that they have to hold our hands all the time. Our little fragile minds can't comprehend.
That's the number one excuse.
Right? Yeah. And it just is what it is. I mean, there are a lot of things about life that we don't enjoy, but they're irrefutable at the end of the day. They're unavoidable, Yeah. So what are you supposed to do? Aside from deal with it, like 90% of people on the planet do. When they get dealt a shit hand, you deal with it. And one way or the other, you deal with it.
I feel like it would be a very eye-opening experience, that's for sure.
I think it's unavoidable. I think if I had to make a call, I would say within the next 2 years, we're probably going to get some crazy confirmation on whatever these are in our skies.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assessment.
Because it just keeps compiling on itself, more and more and more.
Yeah,
And it just seems like it's at one point. I mean, it also wouldn't surprise me if one day the government just shut it off and was like, we were wrong. We misidentified everything. We overshot
Surprise.
It all. Yeah. Or in the name of national security, we had to keep this stuff on the low. We couldn't just outright say that this was our technology, even though it is our technology. Now we're revealing it to the world, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I feel like the lid on the can of worms is open and they're not able to keep a grasp on it, and the big major players in the game are trying to lead the narrative, trying to stay ahead of it, trying to keep the people that, I'm not going to say tuned in, because that makes it sound like they know what the fuck is going on, but the people that listen to those narratives, trying to keep them kind of under the umbrella, kind of keep them on the path.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to sit and think about.
I did.
And it's also like, I listened to a pretty good conversation despite your feelings on these individuals. I do have a renewed respect for Sean Ryan. I've talked about him several times, but some of his statements he just recently made, I'm like, all right. I feel like he's definitely on our side at this point. And it was simply from just a phrase of I don't remember exactly how he put it, but it was essentially like, what the fuck isn't a lie anymore? And I'm like, okay, you know what? I get down with that. Like, I get it. And the conviction in his voice, it was just a whole mood set for me where I'm like, yep, all right, I feel that. But him and Tucker were talking, and which is a pretty interesting conversation. But they were talking about how at the end of the day, when it comes down to all this UFO talk and all that stuff, how the number one thing that all the governments across the planet want to focus on is that the supernatural is not real. That's what they focus on the most. The supernatural is not real. Mind you, that they'll completely comprehend the tech. Like, yeah, this is out of this world tech. But they always want to focus on how we should not believe in the supernatural at any given point.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's because they haven't found a way to weaponize the supernatural yet. They have no control over it. So
I can see that.
Put it out that it doesn't exist.
I could also see it like we talked about in the past, though. Like, if there is types of, I mean, just think about the ramifications of, like, let's just say that without, across the board, God the creator is 100% real. He's legitimate. That also takes power away from said governments across the planet, because now people are like, at the end of the day, I don't have to fucking appease you. There's one thing at the end of the day that I have to appease and uphold. And beyond that, I'm like, as long as I do my part to get to where I need to go, I don't give a fuck about what you say. End of story. Get out of the way. And so that breaks the chains for some people. And I do feel like there's hidden knowledge of the past that they also don't want to come forth.
Yeah, but I feel like people that believe in God already believe that it's real. You know what I mean? They don't need,
right, but you have people who dance in the middle, who are just kind of caught in limbo, that they're waiting to be swayed one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I don't think that a proof of God is gonna like cause some big uprising, or I don't know. I feel like it's a morality issue more than anything else.
Right. I'm not saying that God would impose an uprising or anything. I just feel like it would relinquish. I think people would just come to a morality thing of just saying, like, hey, I don't have to do all this fucked up stuff anymore. I don't have to live by your rules. Essentially, you get to kind of revert back to right and wrong to a degree. It's hard for me to explain and articulate at this moment, but I just feel like the government would worry this could break our control on a lot of people.
I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I feel like it all kind of lends toward control. A higher power, a creator, government. They all like to kind of stand over top of us. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but that also depends on the lens that you look at it with.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's hard for me to 100% bite on anything man has ever attempted to teach, because man is always capable of manipulating the truth to their advantage.
well, yeah, that's a fact. I was dual wielding over here, reading the chat and listening at the same time. Yeah, the powers that be are always gonna stack the cards in their favor, regardless of the
Right.
topic.
Right.
Uh,
We did loosely talk about the other day about how we both saw the video of where they basically confirmed that whatever was seen. Oh, was it LA?
Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas. I get the two mixed up. Sorry. But about the craft, the alien beings that were caught on camera, whatever is in that film is 100% in that film.
I did see that. Before we get into that, I want to shout out our other creators hanging out in here. Bigfoot Society, what's up? I don't know if you're still in here, but you did chime in. Hope all's well, brother. We got the Pitch Putt Puff podcast hanging out. Thank you for checking it. And everybody else in the chat, thanks for hanging out. So I saw a video. Kyle saw the video as well. They had a forensic video analysis of whatever the 8-foot tall being was in the Las Vegas flap from last year. You know, the one where the kid called in and said he had these aliens in the background or in his backyard. Police came out and investigated, and the cop body footage caught the picture of whatever this thing was shooting over the Vegas sky. The initial forensic analysis said that it is 100% an actual artifact on the film. They are just as real. Whatever these things are just as real as the people in the film or in the video, right? So they are 100% there, the same as the people are. But he said he has no idea what they are. He said it looks like they're almost creating their own cloaking device, like their own smoke screen. That either is, I don't know how he said it. Whatever it is, it's creating its own camouflage, essentially. So the people walking right by it can't see it, and it also is hard to pick up on the film, on the actual video, but it is there. So that's wild news. He also opened it up to anybody, any other forensic analysis. He said, feel free to debunk it. He says, because right now I can't. I don't know what is going on. Which is crazy.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Let me pull this up because JJ just sent this to me popping off in Discord, and I will read it. I'm not going to pull it up on the actual night shift here, but I will read it because it's just a bunch of text. So this popped off 9 hours ago on r/aliens on Reddit. Reddit user /obese said Las Vegas Part 2. Did this UFO sighting happen, get caught on camera, and then get covered up? 5/17/23. So it's about a year exactly ago. Reddit post, mysterious object with glowing green lights. Is this what James Fox and Doug Papa were talking about? Sources inside Vegas police talk about federal cover-up. So this was posted 2 months ago. Metro Vegas responds to question mark. A coworker who has family at Metro related this story to me this morning. Believe what you will. Tuesday, 2 a.m., Northeast Vegas. A man sitting in his vehicle calls 911 to report mysterious object with glowing green lights. in an empty dirt lot. Metro responds. Officer captures video on body cam and dash cam of the stationary object, approximately 8 feet tall, with glowing green lights. Just a few minutes later, the object lifts off and disappears into the sky, leaving a perfect cylindrical burn spot on the ground as the only evidence. The next morning, when the officer submits his reports, the FBI and CIA both arrive and take over the investigation. Dashcam, bodycam footage, and all reports of the object are expunged from Metro's records. Reporting officer is now on paid administrative leave. Update: precise location was Decatur and Tropical Parkway. Witness reporting incident. Homeowner with a view of vacant lot from his home. Homeowner's father corroborated the witness statement. Metro on 911 call video is out there, as not all copies are reported to be destroyed. So this is just from 2 months ago, I'm betting. No, this was from last year. My bad. So this kind of coincides with the Vegas report that originally happened. So June 8th, 2023, James Fox posts, I'm getting contacted by police officers in Las Vegas that are claiming a cover-up by FBI and that their body cam videos are being scrubbed. They're begging for an investigation. Georgia Knapp is supposed to be on it. I'll travel up there when I am able. Again, I do not know the veracity of this case, as it's way too early to make any definitive statements. I do now feel it merits further investigation. Police officers are contacting me. I'll follow up as best as I can. This could be a hoax, but maybe not. I posted about the Las Vegas incident the day after it happened. I was given a lot of details from a friend whose family member was on duty that night, working from the same command on Metro. The responding officer's body footage at the scene showed the craft was taken by one of the alphabet agencies the same morning. The report was scrubbed and the officer was put on administrative leave. Many people were doubtful about the situation because I didn't provide exact details other than the address, location of Tropical and Decatur where the incident happened. Still a lot of secrecy surrounding the incident. Why did Metro install new cameras that are EMP proof on its site now? What alphabet agency took the footage? Metro certainly wouldn't just hand it over to anyone without proper direction to do so. Unfortunately, you either have to choose to believe or remain skeptical, but with all the new information coming out, it is almost certain being purposely covered up. Alas, it will probably never be known except by those who are physically there that night. So it looks like at the time there was a lot of cover up going on, hoping that whatever this was wouldn't get out. But I guess the kid who did the initial release of the video kind of blew the lid off of that thing, because now there is people out there saying this is 100%.
Is he still alive?
The kid? Yeah, I just saw an interview with him not too long ago where he says now a lot of weird stuff is going on in his home. We talked about it on the night shift a couple night shifts ago, where like the crucifixes were turning upside down in his house. The Bible was opening and it was flipping pages like in midair. Lots of weird shit.
That's creepy.
It is creepy.
Which makes you feel demonic. Obviously.
I mean, if you're going to turn the crucifix upside down, you got a lot of intent with it.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good time to jump back into aliens, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why. All the cards are just stacking for us right now. Because I'm super excited to sit down tomorrow and record the second half of my series, because, dude, this guy's accounts that I'm doing my next couple shows on are fucking so similar to the things that I've been through. Dude, you're going to shit yourself tomorrow.
The first episode was weird, the way that the dots were connected.
The second one is way worse. Way worse. Especially if you can recall some things that I've said to you in the past.
Thanks, Royds. We appreciate you, brother.
Much love, man. Hey, everybody's dealing with the shit right now, so I don't blame you one bit.
I feel that. And it is strange that all this is going on in Las Vegas. And when that flap hit last Wednesday, probably 7 out of 10 people that popped in that live saying we saw it was in Vegas.
That's
which
weird.
is strange.
That is strange. But man,
I was on for like an hour and a half, and I think I had like 2,300 people come through, and there was probably
awesome.
400 or 500 people said that they saw it, which is insane.
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome.
Some news stories picked it up, and it still remains unknown. TMZ picked it up. You would think if it was a SpaceX, people seeing SpaceX, it would be easy just to be like, "Hey, it's SpaceX. Sorry about you." Like, why even talk about it at that point? You know.
You know, there's people out there watching that follow SpaceX.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because JJ had people looking at the SpaceX flight times and flight patterns, and there were people actively watching flight patterns where this thing was headed to, and it's almost like they were diverting commercial airlines out of the direction of wherever this thing was. It was weird. We had somebody watching. They sent up Predator drones out of Northern California right after it. They were watching it. It was fucking weird. It was weird.
That's cool. That's super cool. But man, I am oddly excited to get these next couple episodes out, because there's so much in the second half. Like, the first half is weird because it matches some of my shit. And then the second half starts to unfold, and it just starts like slamming home. Like I said, Steve, you should be able to remember a lot of things that I've told you in the past about my experiences, to where you're going to hear them and just be like, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way. And it's just going to be a repeating cycle almost the entirety of the next episode. It gets ridiculous how close, like, parallel my experiences are with his. And what's even crazier is the fact that my wife was there for some of it. She witnessed.
Yeah.
Legitimately witnessed it with me. And that encounter matches something he went through.
Yeah. I forget that episode hasn't dropped yet, but so I don't want to give it away too much. But even the first one was weird, which makes you wonder. It makes you wonder why people that experience this, why there are similarities in these cases. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I mean, outside of the same protocols from the same entities.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
You know, it's
weird, bro.
Dude. And what's cool about the book, which I do leave out a lot of, which you guys should definitely pick the book up whenever it comes time. I'll announce it on the episode, the whole 9. But the dude like does his homework. He goes and finds multiple other encounters that match his encounter. He just finds report after report after report after report that'll match the things that he's talking about. And he's a highly accredited scientist.
Factologist.
And boy, he does some facting around.
Fact around and found out.
And he is, like, by probability, of course it's probability, but by probability, his grandfather died from an alien implant. Wrap your brain around that one.
Everyone
he does the legit math. He does, like, he even writes the equations out in the book, the whole 9, which is far beyond my comprehension. But the fact that he breaks all of them down, breaks all the numbers down, and he's like, there is a higher probability that my grandfather died from an alien implant than from a self-manifesting disease. Because the alien implant essentially caused a very extremely rare infection up near his brain.
Just the idea of that alone is bonkers. and terrifying.
It is crazy. I'll probably have to get one more episode out. So it'll probably be a 3-parter, but fucking really good book. I'd like to talk to the guy, but it's just strange how much of it lines up with. And what's kind of cool for everybody who like steady listens to us, they'll know my account. So they know that I'm not switching my account up to like kind of clout chase.
The dots will connect when you hear them. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. And it was just a random book pick that I had gotten too, which makes it even weirder because I was really focused on one, but it wasn't letting me get it. And then I saw this one and I was like, that sounds cool. I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. Bye. And then I get to reading it and I'm like, this is fucking nuts.
Nothing is coincidence, bro. Synchronicities don't exist. Yeah. It's a phenomenon. Acknowledging you, acknowledging it.
Yeah. And that's also kind of was cool because when I was listening to Tucker and Sean talk, they were bringing that up too about the phenomenon and how coincidences are not coincidences. But it takes you a long time to finally realize that those aren't coincidences. You know, you kind of we do what we do. We explain them away and and the whole nine. So it's cool to see other people work it out in real time like we've worked it out in real time.
Yep. It just hit me, like I said, before we started recording, I was listening to Strange Familiars, and the episode had a guest on there, and he quoted Dana Newkirk talking about the phenomena and coincidences and I guess she was talking about how they got so much flack for using the word synchronicities, and she's like, to paraphrase, synchronicities don't really exist because it's more so just the phenomena acknowledging you, acknowledging it, which kind of resonated with me. And I'm like, oh shit, that makes way more sense.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Countercult, what up? Saying hello from the gym.
Get jacked.
Fucking Rip Buffington over here.
Yeah.
What else?
Create our own super soldiers.
Yeah. Birdie, what up? Trying to think of some other weirdness. The UFO flap from a couple weeks ago, it was cool to like, even though I didn't get to see it, which I was bummed out about, but to like be part of something real time was kind of cool. Just having people like live pop in and be like, I saw it here in such and such Utah. I saw it here in such and such Southern California. Yep. And I'm like, okay, this is dope. This is dope.
It is. It would be cool to be a part of. It was kind of like with Egress, how everybody was trying to pitch in with that and try to figure that shit out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that in itself made its own community and just, it was fun to like sit there with people and try to work it out and figure it out.
It was weird. It was cool. What other strangeness we got?
Every once in a while I roll it because I hate kind of kicking a dead horse, so to speak, but every once in a while I roll it around about sending it to Sean Ryan, see if he'll bite on that. If he would find it interesting.
Like I said, when we were talking, when we were talking about it, our biggest pitfall on that whole experience is that there was no ending. There was no closure. They just cut us off as soon as just the same way they came in.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. You can't go back. Yeah. Only go forward.
Let me try to pull this up here, Twiz. Twiz has been sending me weirdness on the Discord. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm Googling.
What are you Googling?
This stupid thing that came up on the New York Post the other day. This might be, this is stupid. I hate ads.
Website ads.
It's so dumb. Just let me look. You tool. I don't even know. Like, is the New York Post still like legitimate journalist? I don't even know what legitimate journalism is. So that's a joke in itself, but whatever. It is kind of weird, and it does kind of lean to our society right now. So I will pop this up on the double screen here if I can remember how to do it.
Rosemary, yes, the weather people suck.
Yeah.
They never, ever, 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 ever get shit right anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I expected it to be piss and rain all night last night at work, and because they called for it, like at midnight, it's gonna hammer, and I'm like, oh shit, nothing. All right,
I'm gonna apply to be a meteorologist, so I can suck at my job and still make a lot.
A weathertologist, if you will.
Weathertologist. That sounds better.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen here. So again, people listening on the podcast, you need to tune in on Wednesdays to get the full brunt of this whole show. So
we got friggin' visuals.
Get here and don't be a nerd. All right, so is the screen sharing? Yeah. Remote Amazon tribe finally connects to the internet only to wind up hooked on porn and social media.
Surprise,
A reclusive
surprise.
tribe in the Amazon finally got hooked up to the internet thanks to Elon Musk, only to be torn apart by social media and pornography addiction, the elders complain. Brazil's 2,000-member Marubu tribe has been left bitterly divided by the arrival of the Tesla's founder Starlink services 9 months ago, which connected the remote rainforest community along the Itui River to the web for the first time. When it arrived, everyone was happy. Elder 73 said to the New York Times, but now things have gotten worse. Young people have gotten lazy because of the internet, and they're learning the ways of the white people. They have, it looks like they've been Amazoning. So yeah, just
wait a minute. Wait a minute. How in the fuck are they Amazon? Like, you mean like ordering shit from Amazon?
I don't know. Probably, maybe.
How the fuck are they getting it all the way
Probably
out there?
Drones.
Maybe.
The Marubu are a chaste tribe who even frown upon kissing in public, but Alfredo Marubu, all Marubus have the same last name, said he is anxious at the arrival of the service, which delivers super fast internet to far-flung corners of the planet by game changer Musk. Oh yeah, they're going to see
Mr. Marubu. I'm going to sling a little bit of dirt right back at you now. Everybody having the same last name isn't a good look for you.
They're
bud.
about
just throwing that out there.
Many young Marubu men have been sharing explicit videos in group chats and already been observed being more aggressively sexual in nature.
That's not surprising. Imagine the dopamine overload those people are experiencing.
Yeah. Let me see how to unshare this video now.
They're probably just going to have mass seizures.
But yeah, so there's that. If you want to know how awesome the internet is. I mean, the internet brings us to you. So we're not ragging on it 100%.
Speaking of strange stories, I'll bring this up because I don't know how it's feasibly real, but I also didn't read the article.
I thought it was satire too, Bob, but
because I'm lazy.
I don't know. It's the New York Post.
But have you seen the post about the serial killer that they found 10,000 bodies on his farm?
I saw that they found 10,000 bone fragments.
Oh, well, they're making it sound like 10,000 bodies.
Because this is...
And at first I'm like, holy shit. But then I get to thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. How do you pull off that kind of mass killing without drawing attention?
Yeah, they said they found 10,000 bone fragments. And the reason he's popping up so much right now is they just identified one of them to a missing person. So like he did kill people, but they are not sure how many. But I know.
Leave it to the media to
clickbait.
Fucking clickbait. Gosh,
I know that our buddy Zach Baggins, they investigated on the farm in Indiana. Is it the Foxfire Farm? Some Fox Grove Farm? I am not sure, but
That's a weird environment.
Yeah, there would be some residual trauma there. There's 10,000 bone fragments.
Without question.
Yeah.
That's just fucked. People like that suck.
Was he arrested in the 80s? I don't know. Late 80s, 90s?
I'll mess with aliens before I mess with serial killers.
And I don't like aliens.
No.
I feel like serial killers are easier to stop.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, maybe so.
You get ahead of the game, you're going to stop a serial killer probably before you stop an alien.
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't had the opportunity to fist fight as an alien yet.
That is true. Or a serial killer for that matter.
Yeah.
That would be maybe our day's coming. Holocult. Summer is here. So you know what that means. Paranormal investigations and cryptid hunts abound. But before you do that, you're going to need some good clothing. So we're excited to announce another month partnering with Tecovas.
I feel like at this point, it's mandatory to have amazing clothes while you're out cryptid chasing or ghost hunting. Because with Tecovas, every boot you can expect handmade quality, first wear comfort, and timeless Western style. And nothing says like you're there for business, like walking in a pair of snakeskin boots. And with it being summer, like Steve said, they also have some sweet short sleeve moisture wicking pearl snaps that are definitely going to put you on the next level. And if you need to carry some stuff like all your ghost hunting gear, you can use their ever-growing lineup of rugged and full-grain leather bags that are always going to get you where you need to be.
And to keep cool, they also have men's and women's straw hats. So you're definitely going to want to check them out.
That's perfect for keeping the sun off your head and getting sunburn up there.
The best way to shop for boots is at your local Tecovas stores, where you'll be greeted by the smell of fresh leather and a friendly smile. Come on in, grab a cold one, get fitted by a pro, and shop all the latest styles. I personally am waiting for the cryptid lineup, where I can get me a pair of like Loveland Frogman skin boots, maybe some Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, yeah. Imagine that Loch Ness boot.
Smooth. But until then, you can visit Tecovas.com. That's Tecovas.com. And don't go gently, y'all.
I could see it. I don't know that we would be given an opportunity to fist fight either one of them.
No, maybe we could fist fight both of them at the same time.
That would be interesting.
I almost secretly booked our first investigation for Kyle, but I didn't do it yet.
Because it involves aliens?
Paranormal investigation. I found out that you can book the...
Yeah, look at Cerno Face.
Well, yeah. But you'd have to get to Australia, so... And
I have to go to Australia?
For Cerno Face?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I don't know, Australia is 100% surrounded by oceans. So there's no way to get there unless you're going over the ocean or on the ocean. So I feel like of all the places that are off limits, Australia is probably in the top 3 for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without question.
But I did see that you could book private overnight investigations at the Sally House in Atchison, Kansas, which is supposedly super haunted, like poltergeist activity.
Whatever.
I think one of the people that live there actually got set on fire. So
hell yeah,
we got fire geists.
Set me on fire.
You can book them and do an overnight and do your own investigation.
I'm game. I'm absolutely game. I'm ready to go see fucked up stuff. I'm ready to go to X. I'm ready to go get set on fire at the Sally House or whatever the hell it's called. I'm ready.
They said it was. I was listening. That's the Strange Familiar episode I was listening to. A guy did the investigation there and apparently brought something home with him. But he said it's pretty small. So I'm like, well, that'd be easy investigation.
Oh, I thought he meant
the poltergeist. Yeah, it was a Nomergeist.
How do we gauge that one?
Yeah. But I'm like,
and another funny here, I saw Kaylee. I think I say your name right. She said just take a Valium. I thought she said just take a vacuum. I'm like, yeah, because that's gonna help you against a fire guy.
It's like
I'm gonna
it's a
vacuum
reverse
to death.
proton pack. You just suck the ghost into the vacuum. We might be onto something here.
And in that case, you need to cross the streams. That way we create a vortex, just a funnel.
Yeah.
And just suck them in.
I wonder if Ed, our buddy from the KC Paranormal, has ever investigated the Sally House.
Probably. He's done just about everything.
They do.
He's a very accomplished individual.
They do charge just like $120 a person, unless it's in spooky season. It's $150. And there has to be at least 2 people. I was looking into it. What else was there? They said the downside is it's right in the middle of town, I guess. So like if people see you there,
yeah, I remember that.
They're like people beating on the windows and shit. I'm like, I would get in a fight if I'm trying to investigate and people keep tapping on the windows.
Right up to the window.
But I figured that'd be a good start.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
Bring some Ouija boards. We getting into it? Bring the Ouija.
Might as well.
What do you call an Italian Ouija board? A Luigi board. Huh? I
mean, yeah, you're onto it.
What do you call an Italian Sasquatch? A spaghetti.
You're just full of them, right?
I've been practicing. That way, when our podcast career fails, I can become a comedian.
That's true.
Oh, what? I saw something yesterday that gave me the creeps. It's called a weeping angel. It's an angel with its eyes closed or covered, and if you blink or look away, they encroach on you.
That's like the ghost from Super Mario.
There's a lot of video games with that trope in there, where you look away from them and they just...
That's weird.
I don't like that.
It is weird. I've had some weird stuff, which...
Don't quit your day jobs. I deserve that.
I need to have my wife write down specifically her really terrible dream and whatever she caught my daughter talking to.
Oh yeah, we got to put all this together.
I know. It'll be a big episode.
Yeah. It would be... It's weird.
It is strange.
If anybody in the chat has any other places they'd like for us to investigate, be sure to send them, post them in the Discord. We would preferably have private ones. I know a lot of places are really trying to monetize that. Like there are some places I saw where if you're going to videotape, it costs extra money. If you're going to post it to socials, it's going to cost extra money. Everything has to be reviewed before it's sent out and all of this horse shit.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. Not interested. I'm not doing that shit. Get out of here. You're a fucking loser is what you are.
I was watching this documentary with the Ghost Adventure guys, and Zach was talking about his frustrations, and he said because I don't know so much so now that they pay to investigate, but when they were first starting out, like they were paying places a lot of money to be able to come in and investigate. And there was one, I can't remember where it was, but they were half-ass remodeling the building. So he's like, okay, a lot of times when old places like that get remodeled, it bounces up the paranormal activity. So he's like, okay, this is going to work out well. Dude, they just kept working right through filming, just hammering on shit, building shit. And he's like, I paid you guys money for us to be able to get in here and investigate, and you can't even pull the guys out for 12 hours,
Yep. That's I mean, and I get it. Everybody's out to make a buck, but some of that shit is just ridiculous. Like the builder thing there, that's ridiculous. If somebody's like, hey, a couple things here, okay? If you're gonna put this on social media, you're gonna pay extra. If you're gonna film it, you're gonna pay extra. I'm gonna go Dow and Yee.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, well, then there better be some pretty damn good ghosts in here.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, okay, A, you're a nerd, and B, that just makes me think whatever is in here is fake. You don't want us to expose something that you're fucking secretly doing.
Let me write these down. Mansfield Reformatory. Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all about if somebody, like if you and me have to pay a couple $100 to hang out for a night, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Same.
100% fine.
They have
with
upkeep
that.
on the building and shit.
I have no issue with that whatsoever. But if you're going to lay stipulations like, well, if you're going to post it to social media, A, it's going to cost you more, and B, we have to review all the footage. No, I'm good. I'm good.
That's what I'm saying too.
And I'm huge on, I will not give you money if I think you're a bum.
Yeah.
Will not happen.
Go.
I'm dead serious when I spend money.
Yeah.
Isn't
like
Kyle
Russia.
in Russia?
Kyle's not going over the ocean. And I don't blame him. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of nerds, speaking of ocean, speaking of nerds, speaking of lames, Twitter's got this huge, like, it's blowing up with this photo of this giant squid that washed on shore. 100% AI. 100%.
I haven't seen it.
Like, there's a person in the background whose head's on backwards. And everyone's like, look at this giant squid. I'm like, oh my God.
That's what you should have just been like, hey, what's even weirder is this guy with the backwards head.
I said I wouldn't even. And people are just carrying on like the squid's the size of like a 6-story building, and it's just on the beach, and everybody's just in the background, just hanging out, walking around, like just doing beach shit. And I'm like, everyone on the internet is dumb.
Yeah, that's a given.
It's ridiculous. I didn't even say, like, I wasn't even gonna argue. I'm like, you're dumb. A, you're a nerd.
Yeah.
It was the worst. It was the worst.
Man, that's funny.
Hey, AI squid, saw it this morning. Background changes each shot. Yeah, it's weird.
It's legit. It's legit.
I love AI.
The giant squid has its own green screen.
I hope so. I hope the giant squid is the one creating the AI just to make fun of humans.
I think Twiz is working in his favorite clothes.
A, you're a nerd. B, no money for bums. C, everyone on the internet is dumb.
That's what somebody should do, is go through all of our episodes, which is a ridiculous amount of hours, and just find all the coolest
Holoskyisms, holoskisms.
That'd be so cool. Yeah. I'm definitely not taking.
Somebody just needs to make a book out of it.
I bet there's some good ones in there that if we read it, not realizing it was from us, we would probably LOL pretty hard.
Yeah. We say some dumb shit sometimes. That's why YouTube bans us and Shadow bans us, bans us.
Yeah, it's whatever. I don't even care at this point.
Whoever owns YouTube's a nerd too.
That's facts.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
That's life. That's life, man.
I know. All I want to do is create content and hunt weird stuff.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is the pipe dream.
Which I don't feel like should be taken away from us.
No. Everybody should be able to do what they enjoy.
It's America.
Like, if you're into making dream catchers, you should be able to make a dream catcher and sell it. And be able to live kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. There's some people out there that make some really fucking cool stuff that are way underappreciated.
I agree.
I wish I remember the lady's name on Instagram. But she takes rocks and she makes cool necklace pendants out of them, like an owl and a deer head. They look fucking awesome. And she just uses a Dremel and a damn rock. She cuts them into stuff. It's so fucking cool. They look so awesome. Dude, it's awesome. I've thought like several times about buying one just because they're so cool looking.
Sarah might have a Dremel. I can't remember.
I have one. I'm just artistically dumb. I can't
You're not
say
an
the other word.
archaeologist.
Yeah.
You're not
I'm definitely
an archaeologist.
Definitely not good at that stuff. Art is 100% not my forte.
Birdie's going to Utah soon and a haunted hotel next month. Let's go.
Good for you, man. Catch some weird stuff.
I want to make a cloud buster. I've started writing an episode on cloud busting that I need to finish because it's fucked up. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I guess I should just do it. I'm just going to start doing episodes on whatever I want.
Why not?
Just whatever. Twiz has an off-brand Dremel. That's good.
I've got a real Dremel.
Damn, Kyle just
name brand.
Kyle's bougie.
Name brand. I am bougie.
Dremel bougie. Any episodes on telepathy?
Good night, buddy. Love you. No, but I do have something similar in the works. I kind of have a list of books that I'm gonna start doing, and there's something kind of similar on that.
So soon.
Not exactly. Yeah, it should be. I don't know if it'll be the next one. It'll be here soon.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Birdie, you should stream it.
Stream what? The investigation?
Should I do a live stream all night on Nightmare Road? Well, yeah, it's named Nightmare Road.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the hell is that place? Sounds cool.
It obviously is not just a clever name.
We need a Geo Metro for roads like that.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, no. Better yet, Geo Tracker.
We've got a lot of ghost hunting equipment, technically.
Yeah, we just
need to get
some
some ghosts.
And yeah, that's definite.
Yeah. We do need some. We got 2 GoPros, technically.
Oh, yeah, we do. So technically, we're good.
We can't realistically afford really expensive cameras, but we can do GoPro investigations.
This is true. We do have that technology.
No Twiz, I will not be riding topless in the Geo Metro. I sunburn easy.
Yeah, sunburns suck.
Nightmare Road is Birdie's podcast. Oh.
I thought it was a road.
I did too. I'm like, that sounds dope. I'm going to look into that. Well, now I'm going to look into the Nightmare Road podcast.
No, we have no reason to fake anything. That's just dumb. Faking stuff is stupid.
What was that Creed song that you all like? Oh, What If? That intro, you get ready. It tricks you. It tricks you like the first 15 seconds. It's like this acoustic kind of classical guitar riff, and then you hear it just sneaks in like a roundhouse kick.
I'm not gonna argue that anymore because I listened to it and I was like, gosh dang it.
Yeah, I did watch The Unbinding by the Hellier crew. It's worth a watch.
I haven't watched it yet.
I
don't have much time to watch stuff, though.
I know Hellier 3 is getting close. I keep tabs on that, and they are in the editing phase, so I see probably by the beginning of the year it should be dropping.
Nice.
Honestly, Rosemary, the biggest thing that Rosemary in the chat asks, help us help you. What do you need to get your investigations going? The biggest thing we run into is time, honestly. Trying to,
that's true.
as far as funds go, no, are we going to be able to afford a $6,000 camera? No, but we got some GoPros. I got a bunch of ghost hunting equipment. I got a REM pod. I got some EMF detectors. I got a ghost box. Most of the stuff people use, we got.
I mean, I will throw this out there. If you happen to have military grade night vision goggles, you're more than welcome to send me a pair. Because I ask everybody for a pair, and everybody's like, "No, I can't do that."
I've got.
But I mean, you can't.
I got an infrared monocular that also records, so we could do infrared footage.
Oh, that's lame, dude. Cody Lane got fired today. That sucks.
Got fired today. Guess it's more time to work on strain. Yeah, buck a job. Day jobs are for lames. Go out and create content, fight cryptids, exercise demons.
Gotta be careful with that one. Speaking of which, some of you guys have come through and sent me a couple people to reach out to as far as talking to people who do exorcism. So thank you.
Yeah, they did come through pretty hard, didn't they?
Yeah. It's awesome. I'm definitely going to reach out to some of them. Do we have a Zach Baggins? Kind of.
Holly listens to the show. Just saying. There's 7 degree separation. The unbinding was. I don't know how I feel about it. It was well done. If anybody's good at building tension and building kind of that paranormal weirdness, it's the Hellier crew. But it brings up a weird stance on metaphysical morality, I guess. Right? Because their whole thing is they find the doll essentially that's bound by this magic, and they release it, right? So that makes you kind of question, should you mess with other people's magic? Right?
No.
Because I feel like for you to go
fucking terrible idea.
For you to go all out and create this, take it up into the hills and do this, that, and the other. There's a reason someone put that all together and bound whatever entity it was into that talisman.
Yeah. Have you seen the new Ghostbusters?
No.
Point proven.
So it makes you
the same thing. They basically release a mega god and it just fucks stuff up.
Metaphysical morality. I just put that together because, is it right or wrong to mess with other people's magic? Say somebody had this thing, whatever it was, attached to them, and it's wreaking chaos, just havoc on their whole family and everybody around them. It's some kind of fire starting poltergeist who just set their uncle on fire, and they bind it into this doll talisman and take it up into the woods of Appalachia or wherever the hell it is. And then all of a sudden, it's good. It's bound to that. It's tucked away in a cave. Johnny Q Hike in Public comes around and finds it, sends it off to the Hellier crew, and they're like, hey, this entity does not deserve to be bound to this doll. Let's break it free. What's the first thing that thing's going to do? Go back down to Appalachia and start setting uncles on fire.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not into messing with other people's magic. That's just disrespectful.
Steven Rogers, what up?
Much love, man. Much.
Want to hear some wild stuff? Check out Ammon Hillman and what he deciphered about the Bible. Let's go. I'm gonna write that down too. I've been writing down notes here, Hollow Cult. You guys have been putting them out, and I've been writing them down. If I can read my own handwriting. Ammon Hillman. Well, not my ink pen won't work. There it is.
That sucks.
I got a lot of stuff I want to do episodes on. I've been struggling finding these weird one-offs, but struggling finding information about them. So
That's typically the case.
I'm getting ready to go.
That's why I've kind of just reverted to a lot of books.
I've been getting ready to go hard in the paint on the big Smithsonian cover-up conspiracy about alternate history. I've been finding some stuff, and it's weird. It's sus.
I found a crazy book on aliens that I'm excited to read, but it's going to take me forever to read it because it's huge. It's that weird old one I sent you.
Oh, yeah. He goes on Danny Jones' podcast from a week ago. I'll have to check it out if I can remember, Steven. Yeah, I always kind of dabble in the weird giantness. It's funny because I saw the Blurry Creatures posted a reel about a 55-pound stone granite axe in some like truck stop or some diner somewhere. They had it on display. And so I immediately commented with the ones that we have found compared to the giant ones that were at the Collinsville Artifact Show in 2013. So I'm like, hey, fellas, if you need somebody that knows the know on the artifact side, know a guy, because it's me. They didn't say anything back.
And they're like, nah, we're good.
Back. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
They're going to be real disappointed when I tell them that axe that they featured is about 100% not real. You can like see the Dremel tools on the Dremel tool marks on the side of the axe. Yeah,
that sucks.
Smithsonian Grand.
I'm trying to go
Grand
there.
Canyon?
That's where I'm trying to go. Yeah, where they're not allowed, where they say you can't go, but that's where I'm
How are
trying
you
to
gonna
go
get down there.
No, I rappel out of trees for a living.
That's true.
I can figure out how
I don't
to get
do
down
heights. I'll start at the bottom. I'll boat in, and you can rappel down.
No, you'll rappel down too. I'll get you there.
I am going to need Valium then.
I'll just put you in the saddle, and then I'm going to go, Steve, look at that in the sky, and you're going to look up, and then I kick you.
That'd be the only way you get me down.
And you fall over the edge, and I'm like, oh, dude, the only way is down now. You can't get back up. You just got to rappel. Watch this. I'll show you how.
You're going to have to roofie me. Take me down.
I can do that too.
Are you doing a show about the girl who... Are you doing the show about the girl who was haunted by Anton LaVey and ended up dead in a hotel because he was in the spirit realm and leaving his body? And apparently, if you don't come back, you die. Oh, well, I've never heard that. So maybe we do a show about it.
Why not?
Haunted by Anton LaVey.
That probably sucks.
I was going to do a show about the man who exorcised Loch Ness. Because apparently the Loch Ness Monster was a demon brought on by Crowley.
That's pretty cool.
So
that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah.
I got a book about it, an old book called The Man Who Exorcised Loch Ness. Not just a
I would 100% believe that.
The world's weird. The world is
weird.
weird. The more you look into it, the weirder it gets. I think Tony did that show. On the Anton LaVey or the Exorcising Loch Ness?
Either way, we can still do it.
Yeah. Hollow style.
Because Tony, as great as he is, doesn't have the perspective of Steve and Kyle. So, I mean, I'm just saying. I want up-to-date reports on MIB. That's what I want.
Hunted, not haunt. What? Where are we at? Hold on. Chat, you're losing me here. Who's being hunted by the MIB? Fairies and portals and giants in Canada.
Now they're yelling at you.
It was Anton's daughter. Ugh. They wanted to kill her on Halloween.
Duh, Steve. Duh.
Why didn't you know that, dumbass?
It's
Who was
funny.
hunted, not haunted. My bad. Reading.
Steve, sometimes he's
I'm not
illiterate.
a wordologist, okay?
No, not at
Being
all.
hunted by Anton LaVey. I heard haunted, and I was like, well, that's dope. I'm not going to get haunted by anyone famous.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
Not shouting, just accidentally hit caps.
No, you accidentally roid raged what you did.
I was sold being haunted by Anton LaVey.
That's where I was
I
at.
want to be haunted by the living consciousness of Ric Flair.
Yeah. I'm saying if Anton LaVey was hunting me, I get one of those, what's that damn, the croquet?
Nuke.
You got the mallets?
Oh.
No. Croquet. Get a croquet mallet and go thump right on his fucking forehead.
Why a croquet mallet?
I don't know. It's the first thing that came to my mind. See, yeah, exactly. It's going to hurt.
Marilyn Manson starts haunting Steve.
That's a way cooler story.
I tried to get him on the show. I messaged him.
And he just sits in the corner of your room singing Beautiful
That'd
People.
Be sick.
Or the Dope
Also
Show.
Sick.
One or the other.
There's a lot of Ric Flair woos going on in the chat. Everybody leave a woo in the chat. Let's see how this works.
Rightfully
Almost
so.
60 people in here. You guys remember when we used to have like 150?
So.
Never again.
Yeah.
Never again.
No.
And yes, I am drinking a Monster G energy. Drinking a Monster G at 9:15 at night. But he's alive. Yeah, who's to say you can't haunt people while you're alive? Does your consciousness, does your soul and your consciousness only...
Remote viewing, bro. Remote viewing.
Yeah. Does it only work when you're dead? Because that's lame. I should be able to haunt people right now.
I feel like you can. It's just a matter of figuring it out. I feel like that's the problem to like everything. You just got to figure it out.
Monster G Energy Jabroni. There's a lot of woos in the chat. Please look into Anton's story. You'll thank me. Honestly, woo woo. Polo mallets. Tony Merkel kind of looks like Anton with a shushing photo. I've heard people say that. I think we talked about that with Tony.
Probably why people say he was a
Satanist. Yeah, we talked about that.
I never really thought about it like that, but that's probably exactly why people called him a
Haunting
Satanist.
people when you're alive is called stalking. Not my physical body. Okay? Oh. Your consciousness. Which I had a weird... Okay. It's funny we bring this up because thinking reincarnation, I read this weird poem that I didn't save because at the time I'm like, what? This poem's weird, whatever. But it's talking about life being just a sliver of light between two dark nothingnesses, right? So we have before we exist, and then after we exist. And they talk about how we only focus on the afterlife, not the before life, when essentially they could be exactly the same thing. They talk about how man has feared the afterlife for millennia, but they never say anything about the forelife, and essentially it's probably the same thing. Which I thought was weird. It's a weird concept that I never thought about.
It's probably because nobody religiously or historically talks about the forelife. So nobody's even really aware of it.
Which is strange because it's essentially exactly the same as the afterlife.
Yeah, if you think about it, it is literally the same thing.
But nobody talks about it.
Essentially. But that would mean that you believe in reincarnation. And for a lot of people, reincarnation is woo-woo, so...
How come you guys aren't huge by now? Does YouTube dislike you? Yeah, I think... Let's break this down. Not to change the subject, but yeah, that was just a weird poem. Made me think about it. Like, nobody really talks about the before we exist, but everybody talks about what happens after we exist. How come we aren't huge? We used to say the F word a lot. Now we only kind of do a little bit. So that probably hindered us a little bit.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm going to go back to that.
To saying the F word?
Yeah. Not that I consciously didn't, but I was thinking about it today, oddly enough. That's weird. We had way more going on back then than we do now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think the algorithm likes us. I feel like, I don't know, our content really isn't that sketch. We don't dive headfirst into like the big conspiracies like tinfoil hat stuff, and they're huge. We don't know. We don't know what the problem is, to be completely honest with everyone. We don't know how to social media good. We don't know.
Well, that's probably a lot of our problem there. And then we're probably destined to be big after we die.
Huge in Japan.
Yeah. So I'm okay with that.
We struggle a bit getting guests. Not really. We don't like, that's not our mainstay of our show, right? Because I feel like we kind of built our, there are a lot of shows that do guests, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. That's a whole different niche. And a lot of people do it good. And there's a lot of that pie being passed around. But we were always kind of research bound. Like we would pick a topic, when we would dive into it as best we could for the week and then put it out there. So that kind of was the foundation of the whole show. I feel like if we switch to doing guests a lot, that kind of takes away from what we're doing, because there aren't a whole lot of shows out there that still do research-based stuff. I feel like it takes more time. I feel like you have to research, write, compile all this stuff, where having a guest, yeah, you research. If they're a, you know, an author, you read their books and stuff like that. So it does. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I feel like it's two very different. It's like apples to oranges, I guess. Right? They both have their pros and cons, and we kind of just took a different route.
Per usual, I do see the allure of having guests on. I mean, I do see the upsides of it, you know, because it's essentially different every time. But I don't know. I'm with Steve. And then at the end of the day, by the end of it, like if we do start coming around to doing more interviews or going out and doing stuff, blah, 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 we're just going to be that much more well-read than everybody else because of all the research that we've done for 5 fucking years already.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my take on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just dumb.
We do like to have guests on. I love getting people's different perspectives.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. But we don't really want to fall away from the blueprint of the show, I should say. Because you're awesome to listen to. I love your humor. I love the connection between you both. Do you live with each other, and will you marry soon? Because I would make a great couple.
What?
I don't know, but we don't live with each other. Technically.
I'm already married.
Yeah, I'm already divorced. That shit doesn't sink.
So either way, it's not happening again.
I mean, hey, the best thing. Okay, instead of trying to get me and Kyle to marry one another, what you can do is share the show. Share it everywhere.
That's true.
You guys from day one ish, you guys have helped build this thing from the ground up by sharing it, posting it, just helping us with our social media.
Bob Tagular, I've thrown that idea around with Steve. We're kind of working it out. But the idea to help us out, essentially, to kind of give us some breathing room, is to eventually get to a point where every time we record, we do an interview and then an episode. So essentially it would work interview, episode, interview, episode, interview, episode, that degree, assuming we could keep the guests up per se. But that would be a potential game plan for the future. And like I said, then that takes a little bit of a workload off me and Steve's shoulders, kind of give us a little more breathing room too. So that would be cool and ideal, but things don't exactly work out that way for us. And it just is what it is. We just keep doing what
trucking.
we do.
Just keep trucking.
That's all we can do.
And,
you know, it just is
in
what
typical
it is.
Holosky fashion, we take one step forward and 2 steps backwards.
Yeah, and then we sit down.
Yeah, and think about our lives.
We're like, you know what? We're all right here. It sucks, but we're all right.
It is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
We just
I ain't too
we
worried
just
about
take
it.
the long way home.
Yeah, I meant to do call-ins again tonight, but then we kept talking, and now it's 1:20 in already, which is nuts.
Yeah. I think it's because we don't. Now that we're on my night schedule, we do it every other week. So by the time we got 2 weeks worth of talking once we get here. So
that is also true. You know, we're definitely like my son has had shitloads of basketball and baseball stuff going on. And, you know, I don't get home till 6, and then I got to run around and do all that stuff and then get the kids ready for bed, all that on top of it. And it's hard to find time to do anything. So it sucks. I think next year my job's getting told I'm working 8s. I don't care. I'm working 8s. Tens is just way too disruptive to my family function. I can't do it.
Yeah, and especially switching back and forth is lame. Thanks, Bob. Bob said you guys still have the best paranormal style podcast out there. Keep trucking.
Much love, man.
We try.
Much love.
We try. We know there's a lot of people that we are like, we aren't their cup of tea, but what they don't know is we're a cup of Monster G.
That's true. And I don't know what I was going to say, but whatever. Oh yeah. And for some people that want to talk shit about our emotions being down, well, just kick right. Yeah, exactly. What Steve said.
Oh, a lot of people like the Jersey Devil episode. Thanks.
That's good.
I just winged that one. I was kind of I get writer's block real bad. My ADHD kicks in and I'll start writing and then I'll switch and I'll start and I'll switch and I'll start and I'll switch. And then that one popped in and I'm like, man, we haven't talked. Like there's so many like OG paranormal things we haven't talked about. And when Kyle did the Bermuda Triangle, I'm like, how did it take us 5 years to do the goddamn Bermuda Triangle?
Right.
So I'm like, Jersey Devil's just sitting there right for the picking.
I know. And that kind of brings me to like my most iconic one eventually outside of Bermuda Triangle. There's 2 that are like my go-to when I think of paranormal, and it's Bermuda Triangle and Roswell. Like those are the 2 massive ones for me. Massive. And then you even have to throw in Loch Ness too, because whenever we were little, I just felt like there were so many alien books and then Bermuda Triangle books and then Loch Ness books. I just feel like those were abundant back then.
Oh yeah. There are like the Kentucky Goblins. You know, that's another one that's been beat around the bush 1,200 times.
Yeah. But I also like the fucking crazy weird ones that we find that nobody else has even talked about.
Oh yeah. There are some bangers, man.
Actually, Dirty, last night, like legitimately, I try to spend as much time with my family as I can. Sometimes I write while I'm laying in bed with my wife and my daughter and being around my son, or I'll sit on the couch or whatever. But last night I reverted back to my old days, because the only way I got through school was I would keep one headphone in my ear, and that way I could cancel out everybody's bullshit. I could get my stuff done. Well, last night I did that. I came in this room, put my headphones on, turned music on, and I wrote almost 3,000 words last night.
Fucking jamming.
Yeah.
Jam.
And that's the only way I can do it. That's because that just like eliminates all the outside bullshit, and I can just focus and do my job and just go. Because when I do stuff, I don't do stuff slowly. I do it efficiently as fast as I can.
Yeah, I feel that too. And If I get in here and I can't focus, you might as well just write the whole trial off, because I'm not going to be able to do it. I'll switch it 1,200 times before I have to just walk away, go do something different, go cut the grass, whatever, and then come back and try again. Listening to video game music, I'm going to try that. Maynard said,
I just listen to my favorite music.
Maynard said my Discord's all screwed up, and by that I mean gone. I'm glad to see you in here, Maynard. I hope you're doing well, brother.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure.
Yeah, come over to the Discord, Kaylee. There's links in all of everything we ever put out. There's links to the Discord.
Yeah, there's Discord links.
Why isn't Edgar Casey more popular? I don't know. We needed to do an episode on that, because he's just an interesting character all around. It feels like the further into the technology era we get, the more that like the premonitions and future seeing aspect of the world kind of gets shut off, which is weird to me, because I have a couple books on Edgar Casey, and you don't hardly hear about him anymore. This guy predicted some crazy accurate things that have happened, and it's weird that it gets shut down.
Would you want to be a prophet? Cat, would you want to be a prophet?
Damn, that's no. I don't think so.
Same.
My anxiety would probably kill me.
Birdie, our taste in music is the Doom soundtrack.
The Holosky soundtrack, brought to you by Casket Breath.
Well, there's that.
For Patreon members. If you like metal, if you like trap music, if you like any genre you can possibly think of,
it will happen.
It will happen. I was working on a new track for, what was it? So since we're talking about Casket Breath, we're going to talk about it. Me and Kyle got the idea to create a soundtrack for some of the episodes as kind of a little treat for our Patreon members. And we'll be releasing tracks for that. There'll be episode kind of companions. We're going to go, so far we've done one for the Bermuda Triangle. We got one for the Jersey Devil that hasn't dropped yet.
Oh, you didn't put that one on Patreon yet?
I don't know how to do it.
That's easy. Just upload it.
Okay, I'll do it then.
Did you hear the last one I sent you?
No, what'd you send it on?
I sent it in your email.
I have 70,000 emails in there.
It's fucking legit, dude. Like, I know the genre is not that great, but I'm telling you, this song fucking slaps. It's so good that I almost have memorized all of the lyrics.
What did you do it on? What's
Hellhounds?
Thank God.
It's fucking
I was working
good,
on one for Hellfire Farm. How do we feel about AI making music? Let's just say we're here for it.
I'm 100% sold on AI at this point.
Let's just say we're here for it, because yeah. I'm working on one for the Hellfire Farm, and the last genre that I was I guess fiddling with was symphonic trap metal. So
that sounds fucking cool. I mean, I have such a deep appreciation for like all types of music at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't even give a shit that it is going to kill us all. It makes cool music.
Yeah, because obviously,
so outside of that, I could fucking
obviously
care less.
Me and Kyle aren't, like, we are creating the music. We're putting the time in to create it, but we're not performing it. Okay.
And dude, we literally sat there for we were supposed to be recording, and we sat there for almost 5 hours the other night making songs.
Music. It's crazy.
It took us back to the old days when we actually used to make music.
So yeah, we are the digital creators of Casket Breath. And it's,
hey man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We all got to die sometime.
And I'm going to be probably, if AI is coming for me.
I mean, dude, Steve, visual with me here. How mad would you be if you remember in Terminator when you see the machine robots, they step on the skull and the whole deal. You remember the Terminator scene, right? Where it's not Arnold, it's just the actual machines. How mad would you be if that entire scenario is unraveling, but at the same time, as soon as he steps on the skull, metal track kicks in and he grows long hair and he starts circle headbanging as he's trying to kill you?
I wouldn't be that mad.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I'd probably circle headbang with him as he's stepping on my skull.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll have to check it. I didn't even, if you send it to my email, it gets lost. I legitimately have 48,000 unread emails because I got to a point to where I just stopped trying to contain it. I just let my email be its own thing. Right?
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
I think Shannon LeGros did Hellfire Farm for her 4th or 5th show after she left Sasquatch Chronicles. I'll have to check it out. I was just making a track for Hellfire Farm. The Jersey Devil track that's going to drop on Patreon. Ripper.
It's hard in the paint.
It is a ripper.
It's hard in the paint.
Yeah. I was thinking about having AI create members of the band. Casket Breath.
How the fuck you do that?
I'm just going to put it in there and be like, hey, create members of this fucking metalcore band.
Oh, dude, hopefully they have cool names.
We already dropped the Jersey Devil shredding.
That was a cool picture.
It was cool. We might be changing our logo too. Holosky, Hollow Cult. We think that might help us out because everybody's got really bitchin' logos now, and ours suck. It was cool when we did it.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's just 5 years old now.
It's mysterious.
Yeah, now everybody's all got UFOs and shit in theirs.
Yeah. Dude, that artwork you did the other day with those UFOs is pretty legit. I do like those. You got to save those for something because those are cool
I
pictures.
put our metal logo on one, and it looks like a poster for a shitty movie. But yeah, so Patreon members are going to get that. And since
one day you cheapos might get to hear it because we got ideas
we might
brewing.
Since we own legally, we own the rights to the music.
Do whatever we want.
We might put a digital album on the old store. So, which logo are you talking about? Omen, the blue triangle one or the hand logo?
We've got a lot of logos.
We're not trying to be like...
Yeah, but the new one Steve just made is pretty legit.
Let me pull it up here. I'm going to have to pull it up on my phone because that's where it's at. Ooh, hold on. I might be able to screen share it. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves, everyone.
It's a better idea.
Talk amongst yourselves. Dun, 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 dun.
How much love from Bleefhole. Sending people over our way.
Yeah, keep doing that. Oh, hold on. Never mind. It's not letting me do it. Give me like 200 seconds. Everybody talk amongst yourselves here.
Dude, it's not rocket appliances.
Yeah, but I can only open screen share stuff from Chrome, but I have this saved on Safari.
So lame.
Yeah, it is lame. Let me see.
I mean, and what you're working on is work in progress, so everybody don't get too
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Don't cry about it. Okay.
Dang it. Now we got new orders that I got to pack. I just packed a shitload of them.
Yeah, keep it going.
Oh my God. Come on, guys. Give me a break.
Give Kyle a break.
I got to get resupplied. I need envelopes. I need new, I don't know what you call them, pouches to send them off in, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
So this is the one I'm working on now. Okay.
My ears hurting.
So it kind of still stays true to the, let me go in here and screen share for everybody that's present. What are we laughing about? What did I miss here?
I'm sure another channel mentioned you guys and said your logo is cool and said you guys were different and worth a listen. The triangle one.
Oh, a Holosky from the Belief Hole. Yeah, we did a promo spot.
So funny. It's so funny. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much.
Another channel mentioned you. I wish more channels would mention us.
Yeah, no doubt.
But instead. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this works. Okay, you ready? Share. So this is what I'm working on right now. How's everybody feel about this?
Yeah, I did.
How are we feeling about it? I feel like the red pops. Right? How are we feeling about it? Looks a little esoteric, little creepy, little cultish here. I don't know what these AI emblems are up here. Probably summoning some sort of technological demon, right? So I'm just
I hope so.
This is where we're at so far. It's cool. 9 out of 10. A bit evil. That's what we were going for. Evil. I got some other ones I'm messing with.
Evil is only
what is evil? Technically.
Yeah, it's subjective.
Right? But we feel like the red pops, right?
Yeah,
we need something that people will see and be like, what is this?
Also, I love the fact that he rated it 9 out of 10.
What would, okay, yeah.
So he's 9 out of 10, but
what would make it a 10 out of 10? That's anybody who rates something under a 10, tell us what would make it a 10 out of 10.
And you also have to keep in mind.
Is that a Prince Charles painting? I didn't even think about it, but yes.
You also have to keep in mind that Steve and I are average guys. So we settle for, like, you could have said 5 out of 10 and we would have said, hey, it's great. That's great.
I'm stoked on a 9.
Killing it.
Yeah.
As long as it's passing, that's really all that matters.
You could have gave us a D plus, and I've been like, yeah, it's going up. That's getting posted.
That's where I'm at.
I guess we could create something that we like, get like a top 5, and have people vote on it, and then pick the one that they vote and not use it. Just as a flex, as a power trip.
Just go with the one that was the worst.
Go with the one that's not even on the top 5. 10 out of 10. Awesome. I have evil looking at us at all time, but it's not the 10 out of 10 simple triangle. I remember when Kyle made that, like, it was the background, you could see the stars. I'm like, this is weird. And this is cool. And it's been there.
I don't know why I made it, but I did.
Yeah. It was dope. Just use Twizz's face. They'd be like, that is paranormal. I do like that I can screen share now.
Yeah, you've always been able to screen share. You just figured it out.
Right?
Yeah. It's not rocket appliances.
Should have a blue eye. How did you make it? I subscribe to Midjourney AI, and I use that to create the images. And then I use Pixlr, and I steal fonts off the internet.
What the fuck are you doing?
Switching from camera 1 to camera 2.
All right.
Yeah. That's how I make it. I do a lot of AI stuff because you're not going to stop it, cool. Right? It's already here. The cat's out of the bag. And yeah, I get it. When we wanted AI to come and do human things, we wanted them to do the shitty jobs, you know? Like, come and work my job so I can make music and do art. Well, it didn't work that way because AI is really good at making art and making music. So I'm just going to embrace it. Just embrace our AI overlords, where when they do decide to take over, they might be like, hey, we're going to keep Steve and Kyle around because they know that we're the best.
We make cool art and music.
Yeah. You should put a picture of you both from the 90s hammered out of your head in a blue triangle. I would not be that old in the 90s. Well, I'd be a little bit old. I top out at 15 in the 90s. 99, I was 15.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be a couple years younger, obviously.
Okay, I need a logo for another pod. How many podcasts are you in, Birdie? Shoo. Too many, bud.
You gotta have one.
Dog prison on the blood red YouTube logo. That is, yeah. Because, yeah, YouTube doesn't like us. We've had a bunch of people tell us that they were subscribed and had notifications on, and they're not getting anything from us. So, YouTube's lame. 3 so far. Birdie's just going at it. I don't know how you have the time for that, bro. I don't know. Oh, hell yes. First live I've been able to see. Let's go.
Eat.
I thought about doing like a true crime podcast underneath the old Dark Array Media, but I just don't. Finding the time to do this one is just crazy. Maybe a silhouette of you both high-fiving within the triangle. I like it. I have the AI try to create us, and it does not know who we are.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. That's happening everywhere I'm hearing about. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if maybe it's our genre, our niche, or whatever, but it has been stifling us hard. We were just looking at our numbers. Not that you guys really want to know the whole in-house process, but from when we started on Red Circle, which was about March of last year, to now, we're down about 4,000 downloads a week. I know that doesn't mean anything to any of you, but that's a pretty significant hit, which I know Stitcher took a dump, which hit us. Google Podcast took a dump, which hit us. And a lot of people are so loyal to their podcatchers that they just don't want to move to a new one. I know a lot of people do, but there are some people that don't. So I just think there have been so many hits within the last year. It's hard to keep moving forward. Everyone's trying to do true crime, though. Don't follow the sheep. Yeah, I know. Speaking of AI, the Loeb episode was so awful in the best way. Do you get Apple by far. Apple's about 3 times bigger than anything. After Apple is Spotify, and it probably gets 3 times the download Spotify gets.
Yeah, Apple's easily our big one.
It's weird. You'd think Spotify would be pretty. I mean, it's our number 2, but it doesn't do half the numbers Apple does.
No, that's my worry, Maynard, if you're talking about the same thing, is that there's a lot of money to be made in this world. And I feel like companies are going to start buying up the small ones. Narrow it down to which just makes it harder for everybody else, not just us, but everybody, because going to turn into regular media where if they don't want a narrative to be put out, well, guess what's going to happen to your show?
They'll stifle.
Goodbye. Terms of service have been violated. Goodbye.
Yeah. I used to listen on Google, but now it's YouTube Music. Yep. I think I do. I think a lot of the big dogs are going to buy out the smaller ones, and it's just it's going to boil down to a point to where they're going to let you hear what they want you to hear. So I don't know. We're kind of victims of circumstance. We aren't really big enough to have a lot of dog in that fight, so we just kind of got to ride the wave. Which, yeah. I mean, it's whatever. Everybody still likes the show. Everybody still likes hanging out, which is what it boils down to. Are you both deep faked or AI heads? I'm worried you're both now just robots. Well,
if life was only that simple.
Wish I was just a fake head. The pain in my back and my knees confirm that I am a decrepit human.
Tony don't want us a part of his media.
Not that we haven't been asked. Just throwing that out there. We did we had a conversation with Tony about it a long time ago, kind of before Merkle Media was getting off the ground. I think it was at the Dogman conference when we were all hanging out at the hotel.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Scott, nice to see you, man.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Glad you're enjoying the show.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of how me and Kyle have been wired. We're kind of DIY guys, and much love to Tony for even flirting with the idea of wanting to work with us. But I mean, what it boils down to, like, we respect Tony as a friend. You know what I mean? Like, that comes first, and you don't want to mix business and friendship because that muddies the water sometimes. And you know what I mean? And I'm sure it would be good for exposure, and Tony's done a lot of things to help us out. But me and Kyle are stubborn. We're hard-headed, and we feel like we can do it on our own. So we're just pushing it.
I've actually tried talking to Wes. I never got a reply from him. Harry's very like reclusey. Yeah. Rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. And not to mention he probably gets tons of fucking messages all the time.
Oh yeah, I bet he's inundated.
It's hard to keep up with that shit.
He's got one of the biggest cryptid podcasts out there, and probably one of the biggest paranormal podcasts. But yeah, Tony's doing awesome things over there. He's really really moving forward. Deal. And we're full supporters of that. Like,
oh, for
Tony's
sure.
been an OG when it comes to hanging out with us, and we're eventually gonna try to get down there and get in the studio with him. We're just working on. You don't want to go on Tony's show without something to talk about, right? And we've got stuff in the works. We're probably gonna put it all together, release it on our show, and then get down there and talk about it with Tony, because I feel like it's something he'd be interested in, especially all the weirdness has been going on with us. We just got to make that happen. Put it together. Yeah. Find time. Like I said, time is our number one enemy. But yeah, Tony's a goat. He definitely is just out there creating content and hunting cryptids, living the life.
Yeah. That's right.
Yep. But what else? Oh, damn, it's almost 10 o'clock. I forget you have to work tomorrow.
Sucks.
Fuck a job.
Gotta work tomorrow, and then we gotta come home and record.
Yeah. You just have to let me know. I gotta go get a tire put on in the morning, which I scheduled at 9 o'clock, not thinking that it's the time that I'm supposed to be sleeping. So that sucks.
Oh, yeah. That works out perfect.
Yeah. I found the confessionals from Sasquatch Chronicles and got here from the confessionals. Hell yeah.
I heard InfoWars is getting shut down, which is bullshit.
I heard a judge put a kibosh on that right off the rip. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. I don't know if it's.
Well, hopefully.
I don't know if it's long standing, but the first people that went in front of, they're like, no, we're not doing that.
Well, hopefully it stays that way.
We'll see. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us again. It was a good conversation tonight. Had a little bit of weirdness, a little bit of life stuff, you know. A lot of people from the confessionals. Yeah, when Tony put us on with Egress, that helped us out a lot. That was a monster spike.
Oh, yeah.
So we are forever grateful for that.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, there are a lot of people that came over from Tony's show.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they did delay it. I don't know. Whatever it was, the feds wanted to shut it down. The judge was like, nah, that doesn't sound very constitutionally.
Yeah, let's destroy the First Amendment. That's cool.
We don't like what you're saying, so we're going to shut you up.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the course anymore.
That's what YouTube's trying to do. Nerds. But
thanks, man. Collins was a fun episode.
Collins was a banger. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Everybody have a good week. Thanks for hanging out with us again. Hit the like button before you get out of here. Hit the subscribe. Put the notification bell. Not that that works, because it doesn't, but you can still try it. And come and hang out with us in a couple weeks. We're going to record part 2 to Kyle's scientist abduction episode. First one, man, it almost made me like have some weird sympathy for you. Kind of. I try to put myself, like, I'm not the best with empathy, let's be honest here. So I was trying to put myself in your shoes, experiencing what you experienced, and then reading about somebody else that's kind of confirming your experience. Does that make sense?
It's weird. It's weird to say the least. I'm kind of impartial to it at this point in my life.
Yeah. But it was weird. You guys are going to like it. So check that out Monday. New Cask of Breath track is going to drop today as soon as I figure out how to put it on there. It's going to be fine. Came here from a random shout out from the Real Life Ghost Stories podcast. Hell yes. I love to hear all these people that were shouting us out. Hollow Cult, good night. As always, we make it here. Show up and get weird. Are you? New track dropping on the Patreon, bro. The Ripper. Cannot wait. All right. Dope. Thanks again, everybody. Stay safe. Stay weird. Till we meet again. Just keep sharing the show and hanging out with us. We appreciate you all.